All right, my name is Robert Mwangi, the author of Five Fingers, the book. I'm cautioning us Africans from confusing debt for solution. I'm cautioning us Africans from confusing investment for trade and donations for philanthropy. In other words, investment for the international investor in Africa is for themselves, not for us Africans. For debt that is enslaving African countries from Ghana, Nigeria, to all the way to Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and South Africa. That is not for Africans. It's an option in finance that gives in the hand of the investor the ability to buy for very cheap the assets, the labor in the future for nothing when we go bankrupt. And this is what we stop with Five Fingers. The making in Africa with our hands. That's the liberation. Our dependency should not be on people, our dysfunctional leaders that have literally created the pathways and the channels where our wealth is expatriated, because for them it gives them this filthy richness, the wealth, which is very sad because it's ironic, because the very same people who are filthy rich, they go around with a golden begging bowl, embarrassing us with all the resources and the wealth that we have in Africa. And yet they're filthy rich. How it's a delicate, beautiful balance between poverty and filthy rich leadership in Africa. We cannot depend on people who depend on chaos to help us and to give us solutions to solve the same chaos. A story is told of ducks that had a meeting and they resolved that they're going to fly. Unfortunately, after the meeting, they all walked home. Ducks don't walk because they don't know how to fly. If people, and especially the leadership in Africa, makes money off of selling shoes to ducks to walk on, they will never inspire you and me to fly, because we are the market, we are the shoe market, and they will never close that. Five Fingers shows us the things that we have come to look down on, like making our furniture, our clothes, growing our food. It is very sad in Ghana that we have to import tomatoes from Italy, tomatoes that was being made in a region in Ghana. We have to import sugar from Brazil, maize from Mexico, and yet we have hands like all humans. We are endowed with, on our hand, with 5 fingers. And this is where solutions lie. It does not lie in donations. It does not lie in debt. It does not lie in investment that is designed to crush and take advantage of the youthful young population in Africa. Think of COMESA, a country within Africa that does not show up in the map. That is a conduit, a treaty that allows companies, international multinationals, to make soap in Egypt and possibly not even make it there, make it in Europe and package it in Egypt and sell it across nations from Egypt to Kenya, the common market for Eastern and Southern African. We have to change this. It's a country with complete with a passport, but not for the Africans. We've allowed the Chinese to expatriate our wealth by creating and designing all this infrastructure that is supposed to expand their market into Africa and making them permanent by killing the skills that remains in Africa to make things that we consume and use. We can only change this by training our kids. There is no lack of money in Africa. Don't make mistake. There's so much money. What do we do with that money? In places like Kenya and most of East Africa, we buy plots and land, and we basically lay that money down there, and we send it to Japan by buying cars so that we can show off We promise the money when we buy a gas guzzler like a Land Cruiser. What we do, we also send money to Middle East in petrol and gasoline. We are building buildings that takes years to get return on investment. For most, if it's quicker, it's going to be about 40 years before you can get your money back. And yet we are building, and yet we are building places for others to come and sleep and have, and sell us soap, sell us toothpaste, sell us something that I was trained how to make when I was in Form 2, 10th grade. That if you simply take sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide and mix it with fat, that becomes soap. And yet we have to depend on international multinationals, investors to make us soap, toothpaste, our clothes. We import apples from South Africa, tomatoes from Egypt, and most likely it's a conduit from tomatoes from Italy, made by mafias. We have to depend on fish from China. Fish, and we have fresh lakes in Africa. And you find fish in Africa that is from China. We have to stop this. We have to end this with our 5 fingers, with our hand. The last I checked, all men are created equal. They're endowed, yes, with certain rights, but they are endowed with 5 fingers. It's in our hands. We can do it. 5 fingers shows us how. Get yourself a copy, and let's liberate ourselves. Liberate Africa.